we're going to move more into specifics. So now I want to talk about nutrition. Okay. So in terms of nutrition, and tips to have a successful year, uh, I'm going to give you things to think about more so because like in today's live, I'm not going to go into like specific details and how this hormone affects this hormone like totally. Like I kind of go into a little bit, but those will come in my following lives during the year, right? As most of you guys know, that's what I talk a lot about. Okay, but in terms of nutrition, if you are serious about having phenomenal health and physique this year, the most important thing you must know and learn is your nutrition. I know I'm being very strong about this, but because I've been coaching so long in this field, if you're serious about having phenomenal, not okay, but phenomenal health and physique this year, your number one goal should be you have to learn your nutrition. Don't compromise on that because your nutrition is like the roots of a tree. You can try, if you try to grow a plant or a tree and you try to do all the things on top, but you never tend to the roots, that tree is never going to be healthy and you will not sustain it long term. The roots of your body is nutrition. I hope you're taking notes or write it down below. Again, the roots of your body is nutrition. And if you don't know your nutrition, you take pills, you just try to go work out, you just try to do all these other things, but you don't care and tend to your nutrition, it will fall apart still. Okay. Because you understand if the plant's roots are not tended to, that plant is going to be what? Unhealthy and will blow over when a hurricane hits. Actually, hurricane can uproot it, but you know what I mean. A big wind can come across and take it down, right? The roots of your body is nutrition. So put it below if you know you need to work on your nutrition. Put nutrition below or put the roots of your body is nutrition. And Vivian says, can't exercise away a bad diet. And I know Melanie is on here and she's awesome because I appreciate when people have the courage to face the things that they know they need to work on. And I remember Melanie, who just joined our transformation program. She says she's done workout programs before. She's joined the gym. She's had a personal trainer, but she never really tended to nutrition. But she wanted it to be different this time, is why she's in the transformation program. She wants to truly learn her nutrition because she found going to work out but not tending to the nutrition still never produced the results she wanted, right? So good analogy, nutrition, exactly. Pam, nutrition is so important and what a great analogy. Yes, awesome. It's the teacher in me. I love these analogies. Roots of my body is nutrition, Delcia and Phyllis, awesome. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about common nutrition mistakes to keep in mind. Some of you, this will be review. For some of you, maybe this is new. And I want you to take note of what I'm saying. And of course, I will teach on these things throughout the year. Okay. Common nutrition mistakes to keep in mind. Number one, not knowing truly what inflames your body and are inflammatory markers. I find this way too often in people I coach. They don't truly know what inflames their body. Like, they look up a few things and they know like, okay, this inflames my body, but they don't really know all of the lists and lists of things that really inflames your body. So not knowing truly what inflames your body and are inflammatory markers. Number two, these are common mistakes to keep in mind about nutrition. Your regular doctor may not understand inflammatory markers like you believe. Okay. My sister is a surgeon. Okay. And I, over the holidays, been talking to her. She's like, please send me your 21-day program and all this stuff like that, right? Because she understands there's things she doesn't know. And she's specialized in her field. She's a glaucoma specialist. She operates on eyes. And doctors are really good and specialized in their field, and they're very good at responding and detecting diseases and giving you medication, which has its place. And I'm grateful for that. But I want you to understand that your doctor may not, unless they're really specialized in this area, may not have a deep understanding around inflammatory markers. And this is because I coach doctors. My own sister's a doctor, and I have doctors who come to me who say, wow, thank you so much for teaching me. And Sherry's on here, whose doctor was very, very impressed with her blood work and all of that, being in my transformation program. And why I bring this up is for some of you, I think sometimes you think your doctor is the person that is like the person who's going to help you with all of your health and nutrition issues. Not really. They're very good at medication and helping with prevention of disease, but they are not specialized in inflammation markers and how to understand nutrition at a deeper level. You have to be very careful because sometimes doctors will say, well, you're just getting old. Well, it's just menopause. Well, we should put you on a medication. Well, we should do this. And that may not be the best approach. The best approach is actually truly learning your nutrition and getting a good handle on it. Okay. And I say that because I've had some extensive conversations with my own sister, who is a surgeon and a doctor, right? And so this is really, really important. But I'm very grateful. We need doctors. I don't know how to give you medication. I'm just saying some realities of what I've noticed, especially with menopausal women, because you become very concerned about your body and the changes you're not understanding in your body. And we think maybe a doctor will know and help us or give us medication or give us something, but it is not, may not be the best approach. The best approach may be to actually learn your nutrition from the foundation up, right? I'm a strong believer in this. And I've helped, my dad has an autoimmune disease, my sister has an autoimmune disease, and I know that nutrition makes a big difference, okay? Yeah, Debbie says inflammation is so critical, just not knowing. Yeah, a lot of people just don't know exactly, Debbie. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Wanda, Denise, Lori, and Claudia. Yeah, and Vivian says only saw results once I started counting macros. Yes, Vivian, and just your changes in your body has been amazing. Just because her body's not easy to like, just work to build muscle and all this stuff. But man, she's come so far, bringing down the waistline and then building muscles, right? So, let's see. Kat says it has surprised me to have friends who are not diabetic be prescribed Ozempic. Yeah, see, I don't even know some of these medication. I know. I have been through some of these and I have conversations, and I know I appreciate doctors. I will disagree with some of them and what they actually say because of certain things that I understand about inflammation. And so there's amazing things, so grateful and grateful for surgeons and grateful for doctors. I'm just saying they're not specialized in nutrition and understanding menopausal women's body on a nutrition basis, right? So being a little bit more careful and just taking medication just cause, right? Okay. Number 3, common nutrition mistakes to keep in mind. This is a mistake often I see. Believing that learning about nutrition is the same as lifestyle change. So this is me being very honest with a lot of you, because I know a lot of you follow me and you guys are in a gazillion other groups. And you know what? This world is not, at least in the North American culture, is not short of knowledge. You do not have a lack of knowledge of any of you right now. You don't, if you're overweight, you have belly, or you don't have the muscles you want, it's not really a lack of knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere. Is the lack of understanding how to produce lifestyle change in your body. And what does that mean? Lifestyle change requires you to implement uncomfortable habit changes in your food and nutrition, and to do it repeatedly with proper knowledge and understanding. This is very important because I have been coaching for so long. And some people who have followed me for 3-4 years, they come to me finally for help. And they say, I've been following you for 3-4 years. But then I see in their body, they're still 30-40 pounds overweight. So what that tells me is you learning is not equated to lifestyle change. Okay. So this is really important because, yes, Debbie just put it in, I was just about to say that, Debbie, you know me too well. Don't be an info beast. I want that to sink in for all of you. And yes, one of the things I have learned in the personal development space is there's a big separator between 2 classes of people. Well, there's more, but I'm being a little bit more just to teach, okay? So The class is one class is I just want to learn. I want to learn. I want to learn. I'm just going to learn because learning feels so good. Learning makes me feel empowered. That's awesome. And then nothing really happens. They just keep learning. And then there's a second class who are called action takers. And I'm a big action taker. I'm a believer that if you never take action, nothing changes in your life. And this class produces more results. Now, if you can merge the two, where you become a great learner and a great action taker, now you become unstoppable. And those are things I learned through my personal development coaches is you want to merge the two, but you want to be careful if you are on this side and you keep learning and learning and learning and learning, but you don't implement. Be careful about that. Okay. So don't be an info piece. And secondly, and I know Carrie says yes, and Ann Winter says no and implement. Exactly. Secondly, if you learn and just like apply based on what just you hear, but you don't truly understand why, you're going to have short-term results. I'll tell you why. Because if you learn and I say certain things on a live or you follow some other experts and you're like, oh, they said avoid this or maybe don't eat this. So I'm going to avoid it. So you're going to avoid it, sure, for a season. But you don't actually understand truly why. Why are you avoiding this particular thing that she talked about or he talked about? Without actual solid understanding of your nutrition and why you do what you do will only lead to surface level changes. And that is going to break down when you face stressors in life. You have to know the reason why you do what you do. And why I say that is because I don't know if Michelle Carson is on here or a couple of other clients. When the moment you saw the changes in your own body, when I taught you why you need to avoid these things or have a careful, look at these ingredients, you were like, I cannot even believe it. Like, Pam, are you on here? You guys just like, I cannot even believe it. You start understanding what I'm saying when your body is inflamed. This is what it does. This is how it looks. This is what's happening. And your understanding of that produces internal change and you actually want to stick to it. It is not a diet. It is not I can't have it. It's not I feel deprived because now, Clarice says I can't really have that. Whenever I hear people maybe say things like that, right away in my mind, I will go, they're not going to last. They're not going to last in the sense of like that habit. That's what I mean. Because they feel deprived. So if you're like, I'm going on keto, so I'm not going to have carbs. Oh, you know, why? Tell me why. You tell me why you're avoiding carbs. And I can tell you, because if you don't understand the base of what you're doing, you'll fall for anything and everything. You have to understand the base of why you are not going to do certain things, why you will do certain things, and then permanent lifestyle changes actually occur. This is why I'm so strong on you learning your nutrition. Because I know some of my long-term clients or clients who've been with me maybe have gone on themselves to do other things. They have always come back and they said, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for teaching me truly what nutrition is about. And sometimes you'll fluctuate a little bit, but you always know why I said what I said. And you'll be like, yes, yes, you have changed my life permanently because you taught me why. This is so important. Okay. So Debbie says, I want nutrition for life, season and season. And Jennifer says, yes, citric acid, my thumb pain. Yeah. I know that was like eye-opening for you, right? So Debbie says, I have some that every diet on the planet, also the word die is in diet. Exactly. Debbie has tried every diet under the sun. And her way of eating used to be based on fear, right? Fear of gaining weight, fear of carbs, fear of fat, fear of this. And she always fluctuated. She just, like her picture, we talked about it over the holidays, was at the very beginning of her program a couple years or 3 years ago, was crazy. She looked miserable in the picture. She was puffy and overweight. And like she avoided things based on just what she heard. She never understood why. And Debbie, I know you're okay with it. She's fluctuated up and down a little bit, but she's never gone back to that state because she actually knows. She actually knows in her head what really, why does she have to be careful about these things I told her about, right? So, so making sure you understand learning is not the same as lifestyle changes, okay? Here's another common nutrition mistakes. Okay. And if this is you, by the way, if you're like, oh, maybe I am learning too much or I'm info beast, maybe put it below so you need to work on it. Maybe put learning is not the same as lifestyle changes. Okay. Know why you do what you do. That's see it exactly, right? Okay, the next nutrition mistake I see often, okay? Not understanding the importance of macronutrients. What are macronutrients? So if you are new to this group, I know I get asked a lot. They're like, what's macros? I don't know what you're talking about. So macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. And the splits in your body of like how nutrition enters your body. Okay. So why is this really important is that protein, carbs, and fat produce different results in your body based on different ratios. Okay. And I want you guys to keep this in mind. Macros become more important as you age. I know some of you are like, I don't want to hear that. But unfortunately, you are aging. All of us are, right? Although you can counteract it with lifestyle changes, right? But macros become more important as you age because your hormones are working against you and not for you, especially if you are going into menopause. Your body has a lower ability to absorb nutrition, so it is less forgiving. Your body also has less ability to get rid of inflammation in the body. Do you know as people age and how they get more diseases in their body? Why does this happen? So if you ever study more into aging and more like scientific articles on aging, is that most people's diseases actually come from their immune system shutting down, their immune system being unable to keep up with things that are breaking down in their body. And so diseases actually come from not being able to get rid of a lot of inflammation in the body. Anything that ends with an itis is inflammation. Arthritis. Uh, I can't even think of things off my head. There's a lot that are itis. What is my dad's? I can't remember the name now. But yeah, anything that ends with an itis, colitis. All of these things are inflammation of your system. And it gets worse as you age, okay? Because your body actually starts to slow down and cannot get rid of inflammation. So you cannot tell me that uh I can just go by and get older without caring about my nutrition. It's like, no, you got to care about your nutrition and you got to know your inflammation, how to bring down inflammation, and you should understand your macros. Understand it to a level. If you don't have to compete, I mean, most of this group is not about competitors, but you need to know your macros for understanding nutrition and how it impacts your body. Because one of the biggest things you'll understand as you get older is the impact of sugar in your body. If sugar has a massive impact in your body, you are more likely to reach into a diabetic state or a pre-diabetic state. And if you have a lot of processed type of food, you're going to reach into high blood pressure situations. As you get older, your arteries become harder to pump the blood anyways. So you just cannot afford, I understand when you were younger, you could afford to eat anything you want. I understand that you could probably lose weight just like this. A lot of women tell me this. They're in their 40s, mid 40s, or early 50s. I used to just, want to lose weight, set a goal in January, and by March, I'm like back to where I want. But it's not the same for menopausal women. And as you age, just like I told my sister who's a doctor, I said, things are changing your body. That's why she has an autoimmune. And I asked her what she ate. And she laughed and she's like, oh, I'm usually pretty healthy. I'm like, no, tell me what you eat. And she was like, oh, well, and then she told me some other things, right? So diseases are going to come if you don't care about the inflammation markers and all of that. So this point is not understanding the importance of macronutrients in your body as you age. So how many of you listening believe you need to understand macronutrients better? If that is you, put macronutrients below, okay? Psoriasis, thank you. Yes, exactly. It's an autoimmune, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis. I think I said that right. But yes, anything with an itis on the back is inflammation related. Marilyn says, learning that macros are more important as we age. The pounds stick. Yeah, the pounds get very sticky as you age, and they like your belly a lot as you age, right? So Kat said, I had to adjust my maintenance macros when perimenopause hit me. And then, sorry, I'm just putting some water here. Dalcia says macronutrient. Pam says macronutrient. Yes. And Kat, you know that, yes, you have to change your macros. It's not on here, but another thing is a lot of women think their macros remain the same all the time. I just said it to one of my clients. I said, your macros are not going to stay the same all the time, especially if you have a goal of building more muscle. Like that would be silly, don't you think? Like, isn't that a silly assumption to think the macros you're given right now is going to be the same as a year later when you have a goal of building more muscle in your body? Like, I'm like that doesn't make logical sense to me. Like you have to understand macros will change, right? Some people get their macros like, I'm good. I'll see you 2 years from now. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's necessarily, but anyways. So anyway, so I see lots of people say macronutrients, and we will Pam is laughing right now. We will keep going here. So another common mistake in nutrition is this, okay? Believing that hormone replacement can replace healthy lifestyle changes. Now, I want to speak about this because of the age range of this group, okay? I think that there's sometimes you do need it, and it will help in certain situations. I do believe it. I think my mom went through a short period of time where she did do that, because sometimes you do need it. So I'm not saying that, but what I am trying to say is we often believe that if I go on hormone replacement or, I have some clients who I'm sure they're okay, me bring it up, like I'm not gonna say names, but who have had gastric bypasses and still they struggle with weight and they struggle with a belly. Because what we fail to understand is we think these band-aid solutions give us permanent changes.